2019 float trip to Alaska.
After Dave got here, we started out in Ketchikan, saw the cruise ships, Creek Street, and all the jewelry stores. Then we hopped in the airplane and did a tour of Misty Fjord. This is Eddystone Rock, a neat island. We then saw the Wall, Punchbowl Lake, Big Goat Lake Waterfall, and Big Goat Lake. We then went to the McDonald Lake cabin for the overnight. The next morning, we took the boat and found an old abandoned camp that we had seen once before, and it looks like they had burned down one of the tents. Then it was off to Juneau, where we ate lunch at the Red Dog Saloon, and of course saw all the cruise ships and of course more jewelry stores. Then over to the Turner Lake cabin. After a nice night, we nailed Marvin the Mouse once again, had Bill's special oatmeal and hot tea for breakfast, and enjoyed a little scenery. Then we hopped in the boat and did a little fishing and saw a few waterfalls. The next day, Dave flew us up the Tracy Arm and we got to see the Sawyer Glacier calve. You can see some evidence of it here, and in the next segment you're going to see that big triangle gone, and you'll see the glacier start to come up out of the water, and it kind of looks like a submarine coming up. Huge calving of the glacier, and we were really privileged to get an opportunity to see that. So look in this sequence right up next to the cowl, you'll start to see a big chunk of the glacier surfacing. Almost looks like a submarine coming up out of the water right there. And then here you're going to see another segment coming up. Pretty tough to top that, but we went to Petersburg and had pizza at Papa Bear's Pizza, the best pizza ever. And then on over to the Swan Lake cabin, one of the most scenic cabins in the southeast of Alaska.
Swan Lake.
What have I done to deserve love like this?
Right at the cabin.
Not many places where you can see a glacier from your outhouse window. After a great night at the Swan Lake cabin, we had good weather, so we went over to Sitka and enjoyed some scenery over there. After a little cabin misconnect, we went over to the Young Lake cabin shown here and had Bill's Beans and Sausage special recipe. Listen to it purr. I just love that little Suzuki outboard. The next day we flew over to Baranof to do a little fishing, and we were pretty successful. Dave is pretty handy with a fly rod. After making sure we had a fish dinner, we went over and saw the waterfall and spent a little time at the bathhouse cleaning up. Then it was back over to the Young Lake cabin for a wonderful evening by the fire and a fish dinner.
There you go, man. Fire in a cabin in Alaska.
That's it.
Doesn't get much better than that, buddy.
Does not get much better than this.
Dave has been a good friend for many years, and I was really blessed to have him come up and spend some time with me. Thank you, Dave.
Just an amazing experience. I couldn't even have hoped for it to be any better. Bill asked, again, for me to tell you the best part, and I can't do that. There's just too many spectacular things to see and do, and by golly, we did them. The weather was perfect. We didn't get rained on, which is amazing in Alaska. We saw calving of glaciers that would just make you tear up. Whale watching, sightseeing, float landings, the instruction, the cabins. It was just an inspiring trip, and I can't thank Bill Rusk enough. If you have an opportunity to do it, don't hesitate.
What a wonderful